Hello and welcome to Back to School Night. I'm Stacy Albe. I'm your student's English teacher. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. So here's my professional and academic experience. This is why they allow me to be in the classroom with your student. I'm going into my 10th year of teaching. And it's been combined in high school and in middle school. This is my 5th year here at Folsom High, and I'm so happy to be here. I am a product of this community. I am a proud graduate of Sacramento State. I got my Bachelor's of Art in English, and I also went through the teaching credential program there. I also went to school down the road at Cordova High, and I'm a proud alumna. Rules to live by in my classroom, they're real simple. Be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. Basically, anything that's going to go on in my classroom falls under one of those rules. So this year I'm trying something different, and I want everyone to know about it. I know I sent out an email about it with my course expectations, but I want to show you kind of where I'm getting this from. So I'm trying an equitable gradebook this year. And what does that mean? So for the first time ever, I will be using a weighted gradebook this year. So it won't be necessarily points. I have to enter in points, but their value and their worth is where the weighted gradebook comes in. So students will be graded based on their mastery of standard this year instead of how many points they can accumulate in my class. Students will not be graded on behaviors like homework submission or late work penalties or even cheating. Those are all behaviors. Where I will be grading those types of behaviors will be in the citizenship grade. Okay, so what will be graded? Students will be graded on their mastery of essential skills. We'll go over that in a few slides. Summative assessments will consist of tests, projects, essays, and presentations, and they will be weighted at 95%. Okay? Those will also not be as often or frequent as formative assessments and practice, which will be classwork and homework. Okay? Formative assessments will consist of quizzes and shorter assignments and will be weighted at 5%. And I'm doing that so you are able to see a change in the grade. You're actually able to see some progress. Okay, so that'll be worth 5%. All classwork and homework will be put in the grade book, but will not count towards the grade. Okay, so it'll be, I think they say exempt from the grade calculation. They will be put in. You'll be able to see whether your student is doing his or her homework or classwork, but it won't count for or against them because that would be a behavior. And I'm not grading behaviors anymore. I'm just going to grade mastery of standard. I'm getting this from our professional development book that was given to us by Mr. Cadenhead over the summer. Grading for Equity, and this really changed my perspective on how I've been teaching over the past 9 years and where I want to be in the next 10 years. And part of that will be my gradebook. So I'm super excited about that. Why I'm trying an equitable gradebook, and you can look at this a little bit closer on your own time, but looking at the difference between a standards-based grading system versus a traditional grading system. Okay, and so I want the standards-based grading. I want your student to be graded on their mastery of standard and how well they're able to show that and how well I'm able to assess that and using rubrics instead of points. Okay, students will be able to gain knowledge without the fear of timing being graded. That's a behavior. So I don't want to grade behaviors anymore. I just want to grade their mastery of standard. Students will learn to be intrinsically motivated to learn and complete assignments they need in order to gain mastery without the fear of penalty. Okay, so maybe their way of learning is not on my timeline, and that's okay in an equitable gradebook because they won't be penalized for the late work. Okay, makeup and final grades. So over here I've got some information about makeup and missing and late work. Since the homework and the classwork is not calculated in the final grade, it will not affect their percentage. However, if they're wanting to make up or retake assessments, they may need to get that work done in order to do the retake. So that's why I've included these dates. Any and all missing and late work will be accepted without penalty until 1 week before the end of the quarter and 2 weeks before the end of the semester. And I've put the quarter and semester dates there. Okay, so quarter 1 is ending in October. Semester 1/quarter 2 will end in December. Quarter 3 will start when we get back from winter break. And semester 2, the end of the year, will be in May. Okay? All summative assessments must be submitted in order for your student to receive a final grade. Okay? So they're not able to not turn in a project or not turn in a paper or not complete a final and still receive a final grade. I'm not failing them for missing those assignments. Instead, they'll receive an I. They'll receive an I for incomplete, and we'll need to complete all of the summative assessments so that I can accurately assess your student's level of mastery for that particular standard. Then I will assign the grade. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I'll give you my contact info at the end. Okay, so what are we reading this year? Quarter one, actually tomorrow, Thursday, we're going over to the library. We're meeting the new librarian, and we're going to check out our Beowulf copies. So we're only going to read excerpts of Beowulf. We will not be reading the full. Story. Okay, just excerpts. Quarter two will be Brave New World. Quarter three, Hamlet, and then quarter four, my absolute favorite, The Kite Runner. Okay. I should have put stars by these two. I am not 100% sure if Hamlet will go first or if Brave New World will go first, but we usually read both of these, okay? But it just may switch order. Okay, materials for class. Oh, look at that, number one. Number one is a positive attitude. I encourage my students, and I've talked about this since the beginning. I hope when they walk into my classroom that their shoulders go down, that they're able to relax and learn in a safe environment. A charged Chromebook. I do not have a textbook for this class. Our textbook is online. You may have heard grumblings about StudySync. I try my very best to stay away from it as much as possible, but that is our curriculum. So sometimes I need to use it, but when at all possible, I try and use either the paper version of StudySync or other outside examples. So like with the narrative, we've started reading some other expert examples before writing their narratives. I'm not using StudySync because that seems to trigger them. A literature book provided by FHS when applicable. So like I said, tomorrow we're going to go to the library. We're going to check out Beowulf. They'll need to bring that because we're going to use it in class. And if you'd like to get your own copies, you're more than welcome, but you don't have to. Okay? So only when we're reading do they need to make sure they have their literature book. Optional would be note paper. If they prefer to take notes on paper, that's perfectly fine with me. They can just take a picture and upload it to Google Classroom, or they can just use a Google Doc. So if they prefer that, they're more than welcome. Another optional material would be something to write with that's not neon, invisible, or a black Sharpie. Other than that, I usually have pencils and pens laying around here. So those are optional. But number one is really, really important. Okay, so as I said before, essential skills that we're going to be going over this year. Here are the semester one essential skills that we'll cover in this class. Right now, we're doing narrative writing. So you should be able to ask your student, what story are you writing about? In a couple of weeks, it'll be what prompt are you using for your personal statement essay? We'll write those in class. Professional writing will come at the end of quarter two and will probably meld into quarter three / semester two. And that'll be like resume and cover letter writing. Grammar, Beowulf assessments, quizzes, and tests, and then Brave New World assessments, quizzes, and tests. And that's what we will cover during semester one. Essential skills for semester two will be career presentations. They kind of piggyback off of the personal statement essay and the professional writing unit. And then we do some research on a career / college that they plan on attending. Grammar is continued in semester two. We read The Kite Runner and we read Hamlet. So assessments, quizzes, and tests for both of the literature units as well in semester two. Okay. Before I get into contact information, I just want to clear one thing up just to make sure the message is getting home. If your student comes home and says, I do not have English homework, that is probably not a lie, okay? I try my very best to respect their time, as I like my time to be respected. I can only control the time that happens within these four walls. I cannot control the time or the environment with which they would have to do work outside of these four walls and any time that's not regulated by my class. Okay, so I try my very, very best to give them as much time as possible to complete assignments in my class with my guidance, right? That's my job. So if they come home and they say, I don't have English homework, that is more than likely the truth. But here's my contact info if you ever want to know if it's the truth. This is the best way to reach me at my email. I will respond to student and parent emails first before all the hundreds of emails that I get every day. I pick out the student and parent emails first and respond to those first. Please allow me 2 business days to respond. So for example, if you give me one Friday afternoon, I probably won't see it until Monday morning, but I promise you it'll be one of the first ones that I respond to. And I usually respond sooner than 2 business days, but just patience and grace, please. If you need to contact me inside my classroom, there's the school's phone number and there's my extension. I may or may not be able to pick up, however, because I am teaching every period of the day. So I'm teaching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before school and after school, you're more than welcome to give me a call because my lunch is mine. Okay, so if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I hope your students having a wonderful year. Hip, hip, senior year. How exciting. I am so thankful and so blessed that I get to be a part of your students' last year of high school. It's really a joy for me. I really enjoy the seniors. So I hope you're having a great evening. Hope your students having a wonderful year. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.